Okay, some things you cannot, and I really mean it, cannot define with a certificate or a diploma. Please forgive my raspy throat. I've been battling laryngitis all week. I'm not in any sort of pain. This is just completely vocal strain. But let's just jump right into it. Okay, sometimes there are things in our lives you cannot give a certificate out for. Like for example, when we go to school, even as young as preschool and kindergarten, at the end of the school year, you may find yourself when you were a little kid getting a diploma or definitely different little acknowledgments in the present time, whatever, even as far back as that. Imagine. But that's just the way it works. That's just the way it works. Today, we're going to have a mixed bag of random subjects chat. And I realize because I pre record everything, rarely go live, but not necessarily never. Maybe once a year if I drag myself into it. Okay. So, anyway, I was just thinking on this random mixed bag day about acknowledgments and how much it means, but some things cannot be defined and put on a diploma. For example, I am a firm believer that experience in life is the best teacher. A person could stand at a some sort of demonstration board, be it the old fashioned blackboard or whiteboard with a little, that pen and all this and all that, or just your computer screen, or just stand there and talk to you. Although I don't like it when people talk at us, right? Talk to, with type thing. That's wonderful. But I tend to sometimes, because of my old school schooling, um, anyway, I don't mean to. I just do. It just happens. Also because I was born here, so right here in the heart of just get right to the point. Anyway, uh, make a long story short, experience truly is the best teacher. A person can yak, 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 yak all they want, but experience is the best teacher. And unfortunately, there's no diploma for that. There's no certificate for that. But does that mean that you or myself, I caught myself on that one. Does that mean that you or myself, okay, have we learned something from it? In all probability, the answer is yes. A person can lecture till they're blue in the face. And I'm not saying that there is not a time or a place for a lecture. Yes, there is. Yes, there is. But at the end of the day, experience is the best teacher. We could prepare all we want for jobs with certain skills, like on the skill side of the thing, the technical side of the thing, and in the comfort. I do say comfort because it's like a safety zone. In the comfort of our learning environment, um, not the one where we're jumping into the actual job, that is not the same as when you're like there doing it. And here's the thing, we need to learn, I say this including me, always know, let me preface this, always know that I include me in everything. When I say you, I'm also meaning me, okay? just just know that I appreciate that you do. I appreciate everything. I appreciate everybody here. So thank you. But we collectively learn from our mistakes. There is no diploma for great experience from whatever. Um, I look back at my, YouTube journey here. I learned so many things. I look back at some of my, you want to get into it, I get cringe. Okay. Because older generation formatting on a, let's say on the video, for example, aspect of something. When we were children, TV was not interactive. I'm talking about boomers, baby boomers, okay? So, our certificate of learning was that invisible certificate of learning was that TV talked at us, okay? And so I was so used to that No, because we live now in a world of interaction media with social media. So it's a lot different than the talking head says X, Y, and Z, ABC and X, Y, and Z. It's a different thing. Remember, I'm like I said, I'm a boomer. I'm 66 going on with the help of Jesus, going on to 67 in December. So, but but here's the thing. I'm so happy that I lived through a lot of evolutions, okay? We, people in this generation, and most of the folks that listen to me are of a certain age, okay? And one thing though, we learned so much. We don't realize how much we process. And I went through that thoroughly on a video a couple of weeks back, like all the different devices we lived through. For example, vinyl records, record players, phonographs. Then we graduated to stereo. Then we graduated to what do they call it? Quadraphonic. I believe that's what that was called back in the day. And then I mean, all the stuff, and then cassettes, 4-track, 8-track, VCRs. Wow. DVDs, CDs, and streaming. Phew, what do they think of next? But we were blessed with such a long time of learning about all this stuff. So we have a plethora of knowledge of which there is no certificate for that. And that's kind of sad because the certificate, the diploma, can serve as an outward. I turn on my fan because even though it's a little chilly out, it's kind of stuffy in here. So I should have opened my window a little bigger. But after the show, I'll do that. So I just fanned it. I hope that you don't hear like, outside sounds like those weird electronic sounds that happen. But we learn like a plethora of stuff, but there is no diploma for life experience. Now I'm going to switch over to another topic. It's similar, but it's another topic. Let's talk about living in regret. Anybody out there live with any regret? You don't have to tell me because that's personal stuff. I'm just like kind of like asking you, like, and if like you're raising your hand out there, yes, I see you. I see you through the magic computer screen. So if you live in regret, don't do that. I mean, not forever and ever. Why? Because it is a time waster. It is an emotional waster. It's painful. I mean, as long as we learn from our past mistakes and we try to make the future better and really, really, really try, and I mean it with great earnest, to try our hardest to correct the mistake, yay, yippee. Now, why do I say that? Because like I was looking back at a couple of not looking with my eyes, but listening to a couple of audio flaws on my end that I didn't care for. Okay. I just didn't care for it. So I said, you know what? I'm going to fix this. Am I going to walk around with a heavy heart for the rest of my born days because I didn't like the way a video or two might have come across? No, no. I consider those experiences as learning. Every mistake that we as human beings make, and goodness knows that we make many, all of us make mistakes. Whether intentional, but I say a mistake is always unintentional. That's why it's a mistake. It is a mistake. But anyway, that's another show. I mean, I'm not going to walk around wallowing. Oh boy, I really didn't like the way that video came across. Oh, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to say, you know what, Jen? Yeah, could have been better. Yeah, right. And then I fix it. And then I move on. I move on. We are human beings. We are not human doings. And that is not my quote because I heard Dawn from the Sensible Living with Money Mom channel, a wonderful friend. I have heard her say that we are not doings, we are beings. 100% kudos Dawn, I have to say, really, I really respect that. We are human beings. What does that mean? We are going to make mistakes. Okay? That's another part of this chat. Next, I'm going to switch it over to another subject matter. This video might be longer. If you're enjoying it, stick around. If you didn't, thank you for the time you stopped by, and I appreciate every single one of you. Okay. Okay, so we have to stop living in regret, and we have to move on from our mistakes. Next, every few months, I will do a reminder video. I call that a reminder video because no matter what year it is, it could be 2018, 2019, 2020, all the way up to the present time and beyond. Okay, a reminder about financial mistakes. Now I'm honing it down a little more. I'm tightening in on the rein here. Financial mistakes. We have all, I don't care who you are, made some sort of a financial mistake. Some might be bigger, some might be blunders, some might be, I spilt a little milk. See where I'm going with that? But we all make them. We all make them. There is a time to learn from that thing. Every mistake we make, every screw up is a little hidden gem in it. Okay. So I remember one time I bit off more than I could chew in a business situation, and I bit off more than I could chew. I took on more than I really should have, and I learned from that. Here's the trick, though: look yourself in the mirror. Don't hold whatever mistakes you made against you, and don't think we can't go forward and get something better. In other words, every so often I give the reminder video, and it'll probably be one coming up in a couple of months about this is not our forever place. So let's boil it down even more. This time I have to point it to you. If you're feeling down about your present financial circumstances and you look back and say, why? Why did I do this? Why did I bite off more than I could chew? In other words, take on more responsibilities than you should have. Why? This is a waste. No, now that's a mistake right there. Calling that experience a waste. No, because I'm going to dial it back to the beginning of what I said in the beginning, earlier part of this video. Experience is the best teacher. So it was not a waste. So if you or myself, getting back to inclusion in this aspect, okay, we have all messed up. Okay. And if I wasn't on a family show, I would say it the way I might possibly, but all probability not, but might possibly express it a little more differently. Okay. I would say we have all blanked up once in a while. Yeah. Yeah. Jan says that word. Not too often, but I'm not going to lie, has slipped out once in a great, I work on it because I don't like to talk that way. I think it's just not good. But to make a point, to stretch a point, okay, and get back to reality, we've all messed up and we could all learn from our mistakes. So I'm going to dial it back to me all the way, dial it back, rewind. Like when I heard a couple of recent videos, the messages were great. What I meant to come across was really great. I did not like, I didn't notice it until playback when it was already playing. It was already uploaded and on the air, so to speak. I says, oh, now I said, well, why did I come across like that? I sounded so ultra confident, maybe a little too confident. Yeah, I didn't like it. I don't dwell on it forever. I corrected it in my mind's eye. And that's what I'm trying to suggest to you. Always know that if you don't like your present circumstances, don't live in the past of saying, but I wouldn't be at this point if I didn't mess up. That's okay. We messed up. We're human. We make mistakes. And we're probably going to make some more in the future. Sorry to say. But we try our best to avoid them by all the experience that we gained from our mistakes. That's why, like, even like in reference to what I was trying to express with a couple of videos, that wasn't even going on. I wasn't feeling well. I looked back and said, well, was that when your laryngitis kicked in and you sort of felt a little, Yes. There are so many factors. Like, think about it. Like, let's say, like I said, this video may run a little longer, a couple of minutes. I'll just make a very short video in the future so to balance it out. But I mean, okay, were you ever in a situation where someone else had a tiff or a riff or whatever you want to call it with someone else? Has nothing to do with you. Zero. You were the like innocent bystander, so to speak. And the two that were arguing, verbally arguing, they're huffing and puffing, okay? And one of them walks out, and then you're just standing there minding your own business, right? And that person that just had the riff or the tiff or whatever you want to call it turns around and verbally lashes out to you. Like, whoa, whoa, okay. And then you feel badly, and it's like a chain reaction. If you see something like that going on, do yourself a favor, please, pretty please, walk away. Walk away, because you know what happened. They just steamed up over whatever. And it's like, sometimes people come out with things like, what? Did I really just hear that? Like, huh? Really? So, yeah. So, anyway, I have found that to be very helpful. Just sometimes, just walk away. All right, so I touched upon a few things in this mixed bag of random subjects. This was not a quick tip. This was not a mixed bag of tips and tricks. That I'll probably save for Sunday show. But anyway, you have yourself an amazing, fantastic day. Every experience is a lesson learned, whether it's a negative experience or positive experience. I wish and pray everyone has those very minimal negative experiences in life ever. Could we avoid all negative experiences? No, we cannot, because that's the nature of living. Every single day that we wake up is a mixed bag full of surprises. But one thing that we can live with great confidence, if we wake up with appreciation, an attitude of gratitude. Hey, we woke up today. What can we do to make this day a little bit better? I say positive vibes could not hurt, to say the least. Take good care of yourself and everybody else. Thank you so much for being here. And I truly appreciate everybody's time. If you have not done so and you're still listening to me, please smash down the like button, because I'm glad you appreciate me. And I love writing back to you in the comment section. But if you didn't click down the like button, please click down the like button. Have a great day. Thank you.